What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Dogecoin. All right, so let's get right into this whole thing right here. So if you're taking a look at the screen with me here, from first glance, it becomes pretty obvious that Dogecoin is not in the most favorable spot compared to where we usually like to see it. Dogecoin is sitting right now at about 27 cents. 27 cents. Now, we really didn't think that Dogecoin was going to get down this low. Things were looking pretty decent on the Bitcoin side. Bitcoin was trying to break 42,000, and at around that time, Dogecoin was somewhere around 33 cents. But since we saw that Bitcoin was not bringing the rest of the market up with it, we knew that if it did crash, there was a chance that we would also then just follow it on the way down and lose a couple cents on the Dogecoin side. So unfortunately, what we're seeing now is the effect of that. As you can see here, we actually had a touch down to 25 cents earlier today, which is a little bit concerning. But let's talk about like what's going on here. And of course, the first thing we want to do is zoom out just a little bit and get just a bigger picture. Always increase your time frame, move it from the 1 minute up to the 3, up to the 10, up to the 15, up to the 30, just whatever it takes so that you can take a step back and really see what's been going on here. And that will let you get a good glimpse of the overall picture. So based off what we can see here, no, Dogecoin does not look good, but at the same time, Dogecoin hasn't really done anything new. Now, yeah, I do have a couple lines here from before, so allow me to delete these just to clean it up a bit. I really don't like a bunch of lines and indicators on the screen when I'm trying to look at price action. This is from the original drop. Obviously, this was the spike to 74.5 cents on the evening of SNL, the SNL event, and then this was the whole two-stage crash that we had right after, where we ended up at 19 cents. Now, after that, the lowest we got to was just under 25 cents at around 24.70. Then we've had some bounces after that, a couple attempts. We broke into the 40s, mid 40s during the Coinbase hype, and then we sold off some, and then we've just been messing around at the 30-cent line. Now this is probably a good time to introduce Bitcoin to the equation. So let's go side by side here, and let's bring in the market leader, shall we? The one that's controlling all of this here. And let's also put this kind of on the same time frame, excuse me, and take a look at it from both of these perspectives. So overall, what you can see pretty clearly at this point is that we've followed Bitcoin for the majority of the time. All right, so you see the dumps here, this initial move, and then after that, Bitcoin had its own spikes, Dogecoin had its own spikes, but overall, we've just been kind of trading sideways right here at about 32 cents Doge and trading sideways right here at about 35, 36K on the Bitcoin side. So that's how things have been going. Right here is where you see Bitcoin had its run up when Elon Musk gave the guys on the Bitcoin side some hope, the buyers over there some hope, when he tweeted and said that as soon as there's news that 50% of mining is being done with clean energy, and it looks like there's going to be a positive trend continuing into the future of that percentage increasing over time, that he would then revert that suspension of Bitcoin as payment for Tesla vehicles. And that's what sent Bitcoin on this major bullish run here from 35 straight up past the 200 EMA line and right back towards the 42,000 level support. Now, as we've talked about in the last couple streams, and if you've been in these streams, this is nothing new to you, but obviously this is a video, so I don't want to leave out important details here, but Bitcoin has done this so many times in the past already that the market was just no longer phased by the move up to 42,000. I mean, if you really take a look at this for what it is here, you can see the move here. This was about 42,000, and there were 3 little attempts there. Then we had this that turned into a head and shoulders, messing with the 41,000 level, and then another attempt here. This one didn't quite make it, and then this was like, at this point, the 6th or 7th time that Bitcoin was trying for 42,000. And as many times as people holding the altcoins, so the Dogecoins, the Cardanos, the Ethereums, and so on and so forth, for all of those people holding here and buying into these that are following Bitcoin, thinking, oh, this looks like it's finally going to be a bull run, and then it dumps because of Bitcoin not making it through and selling off. And then, oh, this looks like another chance. Then it dumps. And then, oh, this looks like another chance. And then, you know, we go from 44, 45 Doge all the way down to 29 cents. You can only do that but so many times to people before they say, you know what, these cryptos are probably dead right now. I'm not going to get faked out by these moves. I'm not going to get faked out by Bitcoin's price action anymore. It's clear we're having some serious struggles moving up. So what I'm going to do is just take a step back and not keep burning holes in my pockets and wait for confirmation that this is actually legit this time, that it's actually a legitimate move and not just a fake out move. Because if you put a line right here, or even right here at the 40,000 level, you can just kind of see how many times people have gotten faked out. I'm sorry, that was the 40,000, but even down at the 38, which was another serious resistance, look at how many times people would have gotten faked out if they kept expecting this breakout to hold above 38. See all this activity? Each and every time, failed, 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 failed. And you can see all the strength that we had as we tried to hold, because that was a really strong level. Head and shoulders it here, we just broke through it here, had a run up, traded sideways, dumped, then used it as resistance, and then same here, little slingshot around, bounced, used it as support, failed again. So as you can see, Bitcoin's really just been throwing the entire crypto space for a loop here. And for that reason, we're now starting to really see some pain in the altcoins as they start to lose, as the buyers of those start to lose hope and lose faith that Bitcoin is going to recover here. Now, let's kind of transition into part 2 of this discussion regarding, well, where is Bitcoin going to go, considering it's the one controlling our Doge, our Ethereum, or whatever else you're into, XRP, Cardano, any of the major larger market cap altcoins. So where is Bitcoin going to go? Because that's going to tell us, obviously, where our coins that we're in are going to go. What I've been hearing a lot of recently is people just kind of saying, like, Bitcoin to 20s, Bitcoin to 25,000, Bitcoin to 20,000. I do want to address that and just say, doing technical analysis. Now, I hear that so much that I feel like people are just trying to speak it into existence. Like, people really just want a dip down that low. Like, they want to be able to buy Bitcoin at 20K because they missed out earlier on last year, or they want to buy some of the other altcoins that get affected by that, like Dogecoin at 15 cents or Ethereum at 1500 or something crazy. Right? And of course, we'd love that. But then there's some of us, or some of you, that are holding and that really don't want to see a dip that low. So objectively, with no bias, what does it actually look like is happening here? I will say there is no indication of any sort here that Bitcoin wants to go down to 20,000s. And what we can do is just take a further step back here. So maybe, will that load how I want it to load? I don't think it will. Oh, let's just do this. Let's go to the daily time frame. And you can't really say right here, because I know what some people are thinking, oh, that's a head and shoulders, the ones that want to dip. It's not really a head and shoulders pattern, all right? It's not really head and shoulders. There's no reason for it to really form like that either. This is extremely sloppy. You usually don't see a head that looks like that. A head and shoulders pattern is usually, point, 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 for the most part. So I wouldn't want to mislabel this pattern here. Now, what you're seeing here is a major sell-off and some consolidation. Within this, you see a lot of patterns. Some people are saying that they see an inverse head and shoulders right here, and then this could just be the pullback before it takes off. That's very likely as well. But if you just look at the bottoms of these here, it doesn't particularly look like it wants to dump all the way down to 20,000. In fact, you're starting to see these higher lows as it goes across here, which is, if anything, showing some minor signs of strength. Now, to some people as well, this could start to look like somewhat of like a bearish flag pattern starting to form. And I can see from that angle how people might try and get that perspective from a bearish angle. But usually you want to see a flag be quite a bit cleaner than what we're seeing right here. And if I'm struggling to find my lines here of where the flag support top and bottom level really would be, that makes it clear that it's probably not really a pattern. So all we're seeing here is a jumbled up mess as a result of fear in the market due to Elon Musk's tweet that they were no longer, for this time period at least, accepting Bitcoin as a method of payment for Teslas. Nothing else has happened to Bitcoin. In fact, and this is another reason why I don't think Because let's just say it is turning into somewhat of a bearish triangle or flag. All right, let's just say that the market right now is being more controlled off of emotion than anything else. The technicals are secondary or third. You've got the just overall emotion kind of as number one, and then people playing off of the social sentiment as part two. So basically, people catching wind of how other people are feeling and where they think the price is going to go. And then lastly is the technicals. All right, technicals are following behind here, and that does happen sometimes. You see a lot of times, like in the meme stocks, how they just seem to fly by technical levels of support or resistance, and they do their own thing because it's all based off emotion, social sentiment, and what people are really just feeling and believe is going to happen, and them forcing that into existence. This whole drop was sparked by emotion. This whole recovery is also going to be needed to need to be sparked by emotion. No technical analysis, no drawing certain triangles, no little head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders here or there, no bull or bear flag. None of that's really going to matter, because that does not change why Bitcoin is down at 35,000 to begin with. It's down here because what Elon Musk said about Bitcoin. If he goes back on that and says, never mind, all technicals aside, we know this thing's going to recover and fly right back up to 50,000s at least. So really looking at it from the correct mindset, we know not to get too invested in technical analysis and trying to draw too many things out as far as what's going to happen next, because at the end of the day, it absolutely does not matter. We might get a little 5,000 move down to like 30 or 29, or we might get a 5,000 move up to like 42,000 or something. But it's going to stay in this area until we get new further information, and that could take a couple weeks or a month, 2 months. We don't know. So yeah, basically right here, all we're seeing is Bitcoin continue to trade sideways and continue to fake people out. Now, that aside, what does that mean for our altcoins here? For example, Doge. So actually, let's now take a look at, that's not Ethereum, this is Ethereum. Let's take a look at some of these altcoins and see how they're doing and try and figure out what can we expect from them in the near future, as far as the way that they're holding and where they're probably going to go in price based off of Bitcoin's price action, right? So I first want to say that Bitcoin is doing just fine. Maybe I should actually let's finish that one up before I move forward. Bitcoin's doing just fine. Bitcoin went up to its highish area, 42,000, right? It didn't make it. Surprise, surprise. Sold off, went down to its 33,000 level of support. Surprise, surprise. I mean, this 33,000 level is like the second strongest support level that we have here, except for basically the 35 right here. You can see all these touches that we have going on in this whole area. And that's back to where we are now. And we're probably going to bounce here and continue trading in this area or something like that. So nothing new on the Bitcoin side. Like I said, there's no indication that Bitcoin, even from a pattern, really wants to just dump and go all the way down to here. If it does, it does. It absolutely can, in the same way that it absolutely can break out, but there's just no clear indicator of that happening, or any clear, just eye-openingly clear pattern forming here that's saying Bitcoin 20,000. I just feel like that's extremely bearish for no reason, because when you look at this could very easily just be holding at support until further notice, or moving up, or moving down. There's nothing indicated here by the way that this is forming, by the way, guys. So just keep that in mind. And now let's throw Ethereum back up here as we kind of conclude. And we can kind of compare and contrast Dogecoin's performance to some of the other altcoins. Now, Dogecoin in general had been holding relatively well. In comparison to the others, in comparison to Bitcoin, in comparison to Ethereum, Cardano. XRP was always doing like a little bit better than all of them, it seemed, but as far as the rest of them went, Dogecoin was really doing the best. As far as today is concerned, if we take a look at the right side of the screen here, it says Doge is actually down 3% today, when Bitcoin's right around break even and Ethereum's up 2% on the recovery. So looking at them all, technically today, Dogecoin is doing the worst. You might be panicking and saying, oh, Dogecoin sucks. Why is it doing worse than all the other ones? And actually, let's just take a better glance at that by looking at coinmarketcap.com to see the percentages. So like I said, you can see, according to this last 24 hours, so a little more time being considered here, Bitcoin's down less than 1%. Ethereum's up close to 2%. Cardano's up pretty much 2% here, but Dogecoin's down 3.5%. So you might be asking yourself, looking at this, and then XRP's up about 1, why is Dogecoin doing so much worse than the other guys? Because that's not the only thing. Look at the 7-day here. Ethereum's up almost 11%. I mean, down 11%. Bitcoin's down 9. Cardano's down 9. XRP's down 14, but Dogecoin's almost down 15% in the last 7 days. So on the daily and on the weekly, it's doing worse than all of the other main altcoins. Why? Why is our Dogecoin not doing so well? Well, there's a pretty good answer for that. First and foremost, Dogecoin does not have the fundamentals that these other coins have. So there are going to be times when the other altcoins recover at a faster rate than Doge. And why do I say that? Consider, without getting too much in depth, consider what Ethereum is. Ethereum is not just a coin like Dogecoin is a coin. Ethereum really provides this whole network for other DeFi apps and what we or you may know as other cryptos. So a lot of these other ones that you see listed, these other DeFi coins, they run on top of, we'll let that go by. They run on top of Ethereum network. Same for Cardano, which poses to be the direct competitor to Ethereum. It has fundamentals behind it, a really strong use case as far as being a network is concerned. And XRP even has some fundamentals as well. But Dogecoin right now, for the most part, it's not a network. It doesn't do anything crazy. It's not a smart contract either. It's literally just an altcoin, just a crypto coin that we've put value to. And that's why the price would fluctuate so rapidly and so extremely whenever we'd get good news about something happening, or whenever Elon would tweet and would manipulate the price by saying something that would pump Dogecoin, or whenever we'd hear that someone else is going to accept it as payment. We've been assigning the coin value over time because we believe it has value, whereas these other coins are kind of getting their value assigned to them because of the things that they're actually accomplishing. Where Dogecoin is just a coin, it doesn't really accomplish anything except for allow itself to be a currency. So it's just different. These guys move over time when they get updates to their system, when there's news about their system doing more things, or their smart contract being more efficient, or their network being more efficient, whatever. But Dogecoin only moves when it gets news that it's going to be accepted more places. There's no other fundamentals underneath it that keep it just going over time without news. So, and by going over time, I mean increasing in price. I don't mean sustaining it. It's been doing a good job at holding its own. And so for that reason, we haven't had any Dogecoin news, since the Coinbase announcement. And these guys are just doing their thing like they always had been. There's no meme behind them. There's no excessive hype. They just are what they are. And Dogecoin is waiting for its next boost. So that's why you sometimes see Dogecoin fall a little bit harder than the other guys. But at the same time, there were days last week where Dogecoin held stronger than Ethereum, and it held stronger than Cardano. So it really just depends on the day of the week and what's going on around the news. There's no reason to fear. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, Dogecoin has really held its own here as far as its price is concerned. Yeah, just like all the others, it is a little weak. Ethereum being at 2,200 is absolutely insane, for example. That's a great dip to buy. But at the same time, Dogecoin hasn't broken into any new territory. Yeah, we would have liked it to hold this 30-cent or 29-cent line, but it broke below it, and it did not come back all the way down to the previous low, which was 24 cents. Instead, it bounced a little higher than 25, got out of the hole, and is now back at around 27. So that's the way things are looking. As far as tomorrow goes, at this point, it's a little uncertain because as you can see, it bounced here and then it bounced here, and it looks like it wants to consolidate a little bit. So we'll have to see which direction it really plans to go in. If anything, I think there might just be another bounce to 25 and then another move up. I really don't think Doge is going to go under 25. But again, it's not up to Dogecoin, it's up to Bitcoin. So what is Bitcoin going to do tomorrow? And that one's a little more unpredictable. So if you take a look at Bitcoin, which that is not, if you take a look at Bitcoin, it's kind of just in the middle. If anything, it looks like it wants to come back, just like I said about Doge, come back down to support and move up. But if it decides to move down, that will bring Doge a little lower than we might like. But at the end of the day, we still follow Bitcoin. So it's not like if we break a support level on Doge, we're going to the floor. It's nothing like that. We are stable enough to where we're just riding Bitcoin's wave. If it goes down, we go down that amount. If it goes up, we go up about that amount. And so be it. So that's where we're at with that. Hope you guys found that informative. If you didn't already know any of these things, or maybe you've even found it comforting, if you were just panicking, is Bitcoin going to 20s tomorrow or this week, or is Dogecoin going into the, the low 20s into like the teens? Absolutely nothing here indicates that. In fact, we look stable. And if anything, in my opinion, Bitcoin looks more bullish than anything, because if you take a look at just kind of the pattern that's been forming here, you got this like tighter consolidation, a little rejection of this very low, and then just a slight rejection of this high. But we only pulled back to here. So, I mean, we could easily see a move like that. So just keep your eye on it. We're doing just fine. Nothing crazy is going on here. And yeah, come tomorrow, we'll be able to take a fresh look at this, see where it's gone, and probably just get a better idea of where it's going to go next at that point. It's a little fresh right now, so we don't have too much info, but we'll have more come tomorrow. So that's going to do it. Stay tuned for my next videos where I'll talk about meme stocks and some more things, and we can get more prepared for tomorrow. But these guys right here look like in the crypto space, they're just going to trade sideways. So hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.